shooter. And he's opened up, hitting only 1 out of 4 from the line. The Bulls 4 and the Trailblazers 1. John Paxson provided a lift with his outside shooting in Chicago on Friday. And the call being made by Ed Rush against Portland. It's on Buck Williams.
This whole mismatch starts with a slice cut by running Grant off of Cartwright. There was a switch by Duckworth. It leaves Buck Williams, who is not as big or strong as Duckworth, trying to guard Cartwright.
Drexler going to the boards. Handled by Kersey. Porter through the double team, was able to whip by, and he drew the foul.
Porter's averaging 18.5 games in the 2 previous games against Chicago. He has only 5 assists, and it's unusual when you think of a point guard having only 5 assists for 2 games, but he's one of those guys that kind of falls in the category of he's just a great guard. He can score, he can run the show. He's taken on more scoring responsibilities this season.
And he has that excellent change of pace move. He was able to beat the double team, and then he was fouled by Cartwright. The Blazers struggling at the line, but not defensively. They've come out very aggressive. Portland leads 5-4.
Up in the passing lane defensively, that's what was missing in game 1. It came back in game 2. An aggressive Trailblazer defense.
Oh, Pippen spotting Grant. He had the open jump, but he saw Horace Grant was all alone. The Bulls lead 6-5. And the foul committed by Paxson.
An aggressive Trailblazer defense during the course of the season led to so many scores. Kersey up in the passing lane trying to deny Jordan, winds up causing the turnover, and then it leads to an easy Clyde score.
Nice move. Kevin Duckworth using his 7 feet, 280 pounds to bull his way on Bill Cartwright.
In talking to Duckworth prior to this game, it was really nice to see a player who has had a tough season as far as some of the criticism he received. He's so happy about the big shot he made in game number 2 to tie it down the stretch.
Here comes Drexler giving it up, but we get a whistle, a traveling violation. He gave it up, but he traveled first.
Duckworth had mentioned to us that with the game down 2 points for Portland, clock winding down with about 6 seconds remaining, the fact that the team went to him and he was able to produce the big shot just took his confidence level way up, and he just feels so good about it because he wants to be a main contributor. He loves it here in this city.
Well, that's what he said. He wanted to correct the perception of the statement the other day. Jordan able to stuff for his first field goal. Now, we weren't there when he reportedly said that he wanted out of Portland, but he claims that was not the case. As Drexler hits the 3. And the Blazers lead by the score of 10-8. This is Duckworth speaking. He said he was asked about the tough time that he has received here in Portland, and he said, well, something to the effect, whatever happens, happens. But it did not come out that way. As I say, that's Duckworth's interpretation. Here's Porter with another beautiful move around Paxson.
That's the concern that Chicago had when Porter tries to overpower either Paxson or B.J. Armstrong. In game 1, it never got to that. It was all outside perimeter shots. There we saw him turn the corner last time.
And Pippen was held by Kersey. The crowd responding with the timeout taken. Portland leading 12-8. Terry Porter doing it with the crossover. Another strong move. Eastern Illinois and Portland last year. He caught the most heat for the Blazers' disappointing showing in the playoffs, and we talked with him about that subject.
I always was taught that this is a team sport. I don't believe that you can single out one guy out of a team to say he lost the series. I believe so. Yeah, I definitely always say that it was unjust.
Interesting that Chicago felt Duckworth might be the key to this series. They had to pay special attention to him in game 1 when he picked up early fouls. Only 25 minutes, 7 points, 5 rebounds. In game 2, 43 minutes, 14 points, the big jumper to tie it in regulation, and 8 rebounds for Kevin Duckworth.
He did struggle during the regular season. The shot was not going, and he does have that good touch. Picked it up toward the end and has had a good playoff. Portland came out, missed its first 3 shots. They've hit their last 5. They are 5 for 8 from the floor. Chicago is 4 of 9. Portland with a 12-10 lead, 6:45 to go in this opening quarter. Now Buck Williams posting up on Horace Grant. Here's Duckworth. Rebounded by Pippen. And the Bulls look to break. Jordan with the pull-up. Let's see, did Grant make contact? No, says Mike Mathis, although Terry Porter disagrees. So off the errant pass, the Bulls get it back.
As Michael Jordan came down that time and shot the jumper in transition, Porter was defending him. He just ran out, took off down the floor, basically said if it comes back to Michael, so what? That's where the long outlet look came from.
Jordan using the screen. So Cartwright with the pick, and Jordan with his second field goal has tied the game at 12.
Whether this is a long-range effect to wear Michael Jordan down or not, he's had 3 people defending him so far.
Drexler getting inside, a fast start for Clyde. He has 7 points.
And I was saying the 3 people have been Drexler, Porter, and Kersey on Michael Jordan already this basketball game.
Paxson. And that an unusual look for Paxson, angling left and then shooting to his right. Able to hit to tie the game at 14.
We're used to seeing Paxson floating to that corner all alone, knocking out the jumpers.
Out against Cartwright, his second. And the Bulls have gone over the limit. Portland only 1 of 5 from the line. Scott Williams, who has been a key factor over the first 2 games, will replace Bill Cartwright. Scott Williams, second-year player from North Carolina, has done an excellent job. In game 1, the 3 men off the bench, Scott Williams, B.J. Armstrong, Cliff Levingston, combining on a 15 of 24 shooting performance. Game 2, a different story. Phil Jackson stayed with the starters most of the way.
And actually came back with the starters at a point where the Bulls had built up a 10-point lead. Some people felt, hey, why not stay with those guys, the reserves? Instead, Phil went back to his starters, who he felt more comfortable with. Eventually, the loss obviously opens the door for criticism.
There's Drexler. Air ball handled by Kersey. Gets it back again. Finds Drexler. Feeds Williams. It is Portland by 3.
Understanding what this Trails Blazer team is about, you have to live with some of those shots, understanding they come up with second and third efforts.
Scott Williams may have gotten away with the travel. That is certainly the feeling of the crowd. He has brought the Bulls within 1. Duckworth thought he was fouled. Here's Jordan, 1-on-3, and passes on the shot. Pippen, and on the switch by Duckworth, goes right at him, finding Grant. And the foul on the Blazers. It's a hold. Josh to Drexler.
You may question some of the hurried, quick perimeter shots that this team takes, but they get after it. They work at getting the ball back. It was an air ball. They got it back. It leads to a sure score inside by Buck Williams. And that's why Rick Adelman understands the mentality and what this team is about and lives with some of the shots that other guys might get a little nervous with because their athleticism will produce extra shots for them.
Oh! Grant will go to the line.